Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Magic. The airport, a place that's already so familiar to BTS. But this time, something felt different. Not the fan screams, not the flashing cameras, but shifting distances, changing formations, and one figure drawing attention once again. Jungkook. If during the journey they appeared separated, then upon arriving in Korea, everything changed. Their steps slowly came back together, and almost without anyone realizing it, an old pattern resurfaced. Jungkook was behind Jimin, quiet, calm, but unmistakably protective. And when an incident nearly occurred, we were all reminded, this isn't just a sweet moment. This is about safety, vigilance, and someone who never stops standing guard. Let's talk about it all slowly, detail by detail. They were seen at the airport, a place that has witnessed BTS's returns countless times. But this time, something felt different, something impossible to ignore. If we look back at the previous video, from the moment they departed for the airport, they weren't walking side by side. There was distance, there was structure. But once they arrived at the Korean airport, that pattern shifted. Gradually, almost imperceptibly, they began walking close to each other again. And that's when everyone noticed the same thing. Jungkook. His protective aura was unmistakable. Not forced, not coincidental. He was there in a quiet yet consistent way, always positioned directly behind Jimin, as if forming the last line of defense. BTS's return from Lisbon should have been an ordinary moment. But an incident once again reminded us that we cannot let our guard down. Not even for a second. According to circulating reports, an individual disguised as a reporter attempted to approach Jimin. Fortunately, before any contact occurred, that person was stopped by security. The situation did not escalate, but the sheer audacity of attempting to breach security in that manner is deeply concerning. And what's most alarming, this was not the first time. In their walking formation, Yoongi was positioned in front of Jimin. Behind him, the members followed. J-Hope walked beside Jimin, while Jungkook stood directly behind him. RM kept position next to Jungkook, with several bodyguards surrounding them. Every step appeared calculated. Every distance seemed deliberate. Jimin remained Jimin, warmly greeting fans, his smile never fading. But there was one small moment that caught attention. Jimin drifted slightly away from Jungkook. Just for a second. Within moments, Jungkook quickened his pace, closed the gap, and stood very close to Jimin again. Not a coincidence. Not a meaningless reflex. At one point, several bodyguards moved in around them. Jungkook couldn't walk directly beside Jimin because J-Hope was ahead. But even then, he found a way. Adjusting his steps, repositioning himself, keeping the distance between him and Jimin as small as possible. That protective mode never switched off. Once they exited the airport area, movement became faster. Staff directed each member toward their respective vehicles. From one angle, Jungkook was seen heading to his car, still taking a moment to greet fans before getting in. BTS's new vehicles were lined up neatly. Jungkook even opened the window to wave. A small, warm gesture amid a tense situation. From another angle, it was clear that the distance between Jungkook and Jimin was only a matter of centimeters. As they continued walking, that gap grew even smaller. Jungkook stayed behind Jimin, greeting fans without ever leaving his position. Eventually, they were separated by security. The formation broke, strictly for safety reasons. Only afterward did information about what truly happened begin to surface. It turned out someone had disguised themselves as a reporter in an attempt to approach Jimin. This incident became even more serious when we remember that Jimin had previously received death threats in Lisbon. Threats against Jimin, unfortunately, are nothing new. So it's no surprise that Jungkook consistently stays close to him in public spaces. This is not a misunderstanding, nor an isolated incident. This is a dangerous pattern that must be taken seriously. That's why calls for @bigot_music to implement stronger and more effective protective measures are becoming increasingly urgent. If the company can assign up to 20 bodyguards when Jimin travels alone, then reinforcing security when he's with the group should not be difficult, especially with an upcoming world tour. The scale of risk will increase dramatically, Larger crowds, wider public exposure, multiplied threats. There is no reason to wait for a tragedy to happen. Jimin's safety must be the top priority. Unfortunately, the situation has been further complicated by misinformation. Some parties spread incorrect translations linking the incident to Taeyong. In reality, the original article does not mention Taeyong at all. It does not implicate anyone. No names were mentioned. Period. A similar pattern has appeared before. In one video, the voice of staff or Korean press can be heard firmly stating that the area was restricted and that the individual must leave immediately. All of this makes the situation even more alarming. Attempts to approach Jimin in this manner are extremely dangerous. That's why this warning is directed to everyone, regardless of country. Keep your distance. Respect boundaries. The safety of all 7 BTS members comes first. And amid all the tension, there was one moment that felt incredibly beautiful. Jimin looked toward the camera and made a small heart gesture with his hand. Jungkook walked directly behind him. Jungkook's gaze spoke louder than words, full of focus, full of vigilance. That tiny gesture seemed to become the center of his world, if only for a moment. Behind the mask, it was almost certain that Jungkook was smiling. In the end, we once again saw security staff clearing the path. Jin walked at the front, the members followed, protected from every side. This wasn't just a return from a trip. It was a stark reminder that behind the smiles, small gestures, and sweet moments, there are real risks constantly lurking. And through it all, one thing was crystal clear. Jungkook never stops watching over Jimin. Not because he's told to, not because of the cameras, but because of instinct, because of care, because of a sense of responsibility that needs no announcement. Jimin keeps smiling, keeps sending tiny hearts to the camera, while Jungkook, never taking his eyes away, stands guard from behind. This isn't a dramatic story. This is reality. If you agree that the safety of BTS members, especially Jimin, must be a top priority, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so our voices grow stronger together. See you in the next video. Always respect boundaries. Always keep your distance. And as always, at Jikook Magic, we see with the heart, not just the eyes.